For everyone who is wondering what a future looks like in which console gaming exists without the actual console, that future is now.
Never
The
thought that
first
day would come.
steps into this brave new world have been taken by Samsung, partnering their television technology with Microsoft's Game Pass service to provide players with the opportunity to play major titles, Halo Infinite or Microsoft Flight Simulator, and more without a console, without a PC,
That is
without
bizarre
even
to me.
purchasing a physical or digital copy of those games, with nothing more than the right smart TV, provided by Samsung, a Game Pass subscription, provided by Microsoft, and a solid internet connection. You can take any Bluetooth controller you want and jump straight into many of the
ridiculous.
largest and most popular games available, without owning a game console of any kind. Microsoft's cloud-based gaming initiative will finally be unleashed on the world like the fully armed and operational battle station it appears they've been building right behind their backs all along.
With the removal of the need to actually purchase an Xbox Series X console, which, by the way, at the time of recording this, is still one of the most expensive and difficult to find consoles on the market, as well as the games themselves, which range, anywhere from $60 to $70 each, give or take. In order to participate in playing current Xbox titles, this is
a seismic shift.
It really is in the world of gaming in ways that we may not fully comprehend right now.
Well, Microsoft seems to have covered all their bases here. They've acquired major developers and their franchises: Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, Minecraft, among others. So they've amassed arguably the most robust portfolio of development studios in their corner. And they have a cloud gaming platform that supports a massive library of titles through their Game Pass service, which we play those games all the time. And now they've partnered with a leading television manufacturer to have their application just as accessible as popping up a movie on Netflix or streaming a television show on Disney Plus. Just click and go.
Click and go. There is only one potential problem that Microsoft doesn't control that could have a large impact on both the reception and perception of this initiative. And it impacts the experience at a high enough level that it could make or break everything Xbox has worked so hard to build. This ability to experience and enjoy this service and all that it entails still comes down to the strength and quality of our internet service. A bad or non-existent connection will render all of this incredible access and power completely useless.
Internet latency, even at the most minimal levels, still has a major impact on every aspect of our gaming experience.
Yep.
The difference between success or failure in an online match can often be measured in milliseconds, making the smallest bit of lag the potential difference between glorious victory and crushing defeat. While Microsoft has a large amount of control over the quality of the games that are accessible, the architecture of the service that's making them available, and even the TV company that they've chosen to partner with, they have zero control over the quality of the internet connection that the user has chosen. And this is very similar to the reality each of us experience as followers of Christ. We have access to the very throne of God at our discretion. We've been given the power of Christ to perform His will on earth, and we carry His Spirit within us every second of every day.
But all of this access and power is dependent on the user and the quality of the connection we have chosen. And if we have allowed that signal to become disconnected or intermittent, that deterioration can have very severe consequences.
Sure. Well, here's the challenging balance I frequently find myself in. In my desire to be productive for Christ, I find myself consuming Him purely for the purposes of producing fruit. My prayers, Bible study, my time with Him, they're all very intentional. And even though my motives aren't selfish, they still represent a connection to the Lord that's primarily superficial in nature. As long as I appear to be presenting fruit on the surface, it's easy to believe that my relationship with Him is strong.
We're actually just becoming accustomed to the lag. Our connection is running on the fumes of a wireless connection that is slowly degrading, while we continue to attach more and more demands to a service that hasn't been upgraded since our initial installation.
My first love experience with Christ was one of utter dependence on Him for every single thing. My complete awareness of my insufficiency to exist without Him was always on the front of my mind. And I rearranged everything in my life for the purposes of sustaining that connection. Similar to the first time that I connected online with my friends to play games. I remember I set up my Xbox, and I didn't care if that Ethernet cable stretched all the way across the room. I had like a 100-foot Ethernet cable. It was ugly. It was inconvenient. You tripped over it sometimes, but I was okay with it being a little bit messy. And even moving my entire room around to align with wherever that Ethernet connection happened to be, if necessary. I'd move the furniture, the whole 9 yards.
I bet you did.
Because I wanted to make sure I could maintain that connection. But over time, I've started to become, like everyone else, wireless in my approach to my relationship with Christ, not just my consoles. Convenience, comfort, those became higher priorities. And as long as my performance was still present at a level I was willing to accept, I was good with it. I didn't leave the Lord. I just kind of slowly drifted away from that first love feeling that permeated my life when our relationship was still new.
The technology that is making gaming online so convenient that it requires nothing more than a TV, a membership, and a controller is a literal game changer. But none of this incredible tech will improve upon or replace our current console gaming experience if the part we control, our internet connection, doesn't support it effectively.
If our Wi-Fi isn't strong enough to provide the necessary connection and power these services, the games may still load and run, but it'll be with a level of lag that renders them unacceptable. And the same is true with the commitment we've made in our relationship with Christ. The demands that we're placing on that relationship will only increase in size and complexity during the course of our journey on this planet. And that means our connection with Him must also increase in quality and strength to support the bandwidth of the places we're going and the missions that He has for us. And more importantly, our relationship with Him it's not just a mere support structure for the missions He has for us. Our relationship with Him is the primary mission.
Let's remember what our first love truly looked like with Him. The love of a helpless child being rescued by the nail-scarred hands of a Savior who loved us first. He wants more than just an initial install. He is looking for a connection that is upgraded daily to meet the ever-growing needs of His constantly growing child.